If you've loved dogs your whole life, this might be the hardest thing to hear. We all want to protect them, comfort them, make them feel safe. But what if the way you show love is exactly what's making them anxious, or even miserable? Some things we do out of habit or affection feel like a hug to us, but to them, they feel like a storm. There are 7 things most people over 60 do every day that unknowingly stress their dogs out. And number 1, it's so common, you probably did it this morning before your coffee even brewed. If your dog had words, this is what they'd beg you to stop. Stick with me, because the first one might break your heart. Thing number 1. Overwhelming scents. Imagine you're walking into your living room. You've just cleaned the house, sprayed a little air freshener, maybe even lit a citrus-scented candle. It smells fresh, clean, relaxing, right? But for your dog, it might feel like stepping into a cloud of burning smoke. Here's something you may not know. Your dog's nose isn't just better than yours, it's thousands of times more sensitive. Some say it's like comparing a spoon to a satellite dish. That refreshing scent you barely notice. To your dog, it's a tidal wave crashing into their brain. Have you ever seen your dog sneeze after you mop the floor or retreat from a room you just sprayed? That's not random. It's pain. In one study, dogs exposed to strong artificial fragrances showed higher stress levels, including elevated heart rate and signs of avoidance. Think about that. What you use to relax might be the very thing making your dog anxious. And here's the twist. Dogs won't tell you with a scream or a cry. They'll show you by leaving the room, or simply shutting down. Have you ever wondered why your dog suddenly doesn't want to lay next to you after cleaning day? Why they avoid the couch where they used to nap every afternoon? Could it be the lavender-scented detergent on the blanket? There's a quiet suffering most dogs endure in silence, especially older ones with declining tolerance. And as someone who's shared decades with your dog, wouldn't you want to remove just one invisible stress from their world? The fix is so simple, yet so overlooked: natural, unscented products. No perfumes, no citrus sprays, just clean, gentle spaces. Spaces where their nose can breathe and their heart can rest. And if this shocked you, wait until you hear what we've been doing to them every time we clip on that leash. You might think it keeps them safe, but what if it's making them feel trapped? Thing number 2. Being pulled back all day. You clip on the leash. Your dog's tail wags. It looks like excitement. But what if that happy moment turns stressful the second you step out the door? For many dogs, especially seniors, a walk isn't always freedom. It can feel more like a silent war between their instinct and your grip. That constant pulling, that short leash, tugging at their neck. It's like trying to dance while someone yanks your arm every 5 seconds. Can you imagine walking a peaceful trail, but every time you stop to look at a flower, someone shouts, "Keep moving," and drags you forward? Dogs need to sniff. It's how they read the world. A fire hydrant. That's a newspaper, a tree trunk, a biography. When we hold the leash too tight, we cut off more than movement. We cut off curiosity. We rob them of their way of thinking. Research has shown that dogs on tight leashes display higher cortisol levels, meaning more stress, less joy. Have you ever noticed your dog pulling harder when you hold tighter? That's not rebellion, it's desperation. Have you seen them pause at a bush, only to be yanked away before they're done reading it? What if that was the only story they had all day? A loose leash, a gentle pace, a moment of pause, that's all they're asking. Especially for older dogs, the world is already moving faster than they can keep up with. Don't rush them through the one joy they look forward to. because the truth is, the leash was meant to keep them safe. But if we're not careful, it becomes a rope that ties down their spirit. And if that hits home, wait until you find out what's floating through the air inside your house, clinging to your floors, and burning your dog's lungs, even while they nap. Thing number 3. Everyday cleaners that burn their airways. You mop the floor. The room smells like lemon or pine. You feel proud it's clean, sparkling. But for your dog, that scent could be the start of a silent struggle. Dogs don't breathe the world the way we do. They inhale it. Their nose is their compass, their memory, their warning system. So when we clean the kitchen or scrub the bathroom with strong-smelling products, we're not just removing germs. We might be poisoning their air. Imagine sleeping with a pillow dipped in bleach, or spending your day walking barefoot on floors that sting your skin. That's what harsh chemicals can do to a dog's nose, paws, even lungs. Have you ever seen your dog sniff the floor and suddenly recoil, or sneeze after you've sprayed something? Have they been lethargic on cleaning days, less playful, more distant? It's not just coincidence. Studies have linked certain household cleaners to respiratory irritation and even long-term damage in pets. Because when their paws touch that residue, they lick it later. When their nose hovers over that fresh-smelling rug, they're not just sniffing, they're absorbing. And older dogs, their systems are slower, their lungs more fragile, their tolerance thinner. What we consider clean might be the very thing making their body feel heavy, and their spirit dull. So, what's the answer? Simple. Natural pet-safe cleaners. Or better yet, just vinegar baking soda and warm water. They don't smell like sunshine, but they don't choke it out of the room either. But even if you fix the air, there's something else you might still be doing without saying a word that leaves your dog feeling unheard, confused, and disconnected. Thing number 4. Talking too much. When silence speaks louder, you look at your dog and say, "No, don't do that." Or maybe, "Come on, let's go outside." And they just stare. Or worse, they turn away. It's not that they don't love you. It's that they have no idea what you're saying. Dogs don't live in words. They live in motion, in tension, in stillness. Your voice is background music, but your body is the message. Think about it. When you raise your eyebrows, lean forward, hold your breath. Your dog already knows something is coming. They're watching the tone of your body, not just the tone of your voice. Have you ever said, "Good boy," in a frustrated tone and watched your dog cower? Or called them sweetly while your arms were stiff, your face unreadable, and they hesitated to come? That's not disobedience. That's confusion. To your dog, words are like static on the radio, but your posture, that's crystal clear. Research shows that dogs respond more accurately and confidently to body cues than verbal ones. It's not because they're stubborn, it's because that's the language their brain is wired for. Think of them like emotional mirrors. They read your energy more than your English. And here's where it gets real. As dogs age, their hearing fades. Words blur. But your body, they'll keep reading that until their very last breath. So speak less. Move slower. Be intentional. Because silence to a dog can say, "I see you. I feel you. I trust you." But if you think this was deep, just wait until we talk about what really breaks them. It's not what you say. It's not even what you do. It's what you don't do when you walk out the door. Thing number 5, alone and anxious. The pain of isolation. You grab your keys. Your dog lifts their head. Their tail thumps once. Hope flickers in their eyes. Then the door closes. Silence. That silence for them isn't peace. It's panic. Dogs aren't wired for solitude. They're pack creatures. And in their world, being left behind doesn't just feel lonely, it feels dangerous. When you leave, they don't know if you're coming back. Minutes stretch into hours. The ticking clock is replaced by the sound of their own pacing, their own heartbeat, the ghost of your scent fading from the room. Have you ever come home to torn pillows, scratched doors, a puddle where it shouldn't be? That's not misbehavior. That's grief. That's a nervous system unraveling. Especially for older dogs who've spent years by your side, your absence isn't just a momentary gap. It's a heartbreak they relive every time the door shuts. And yet, you have to leave. Life doesn't pause for pets. So what can you do? You build them a world inside your absence. A safe corner. Familiar smells. Toys that challenge their mind. Music, maybe. Something that says, "I'll be back. You're okay." But most of all, make coming home count. Don't just walk in on your phone. Look them in the eyes. Say hello with your body. Rebuild the bond again and again. Because the truth is, they count every second you're gone. And yet, when you return, they forgive every one of them without question. But here's the part no one tells you. Even if you fix all 5 of these things, there's one act of love most people still do, that their dog dreads the most. And you've probably done it today without even thinking. Thing number 6, forced hugs and face touching. You kneel down, wrap your arms around your dog, press your cheek to theirs. To you, it's love, comfort, closeness. But to your dog, it might feel like being trapped in a moment they can't escape. Dogs don't hug each other. They don't hold still and squeeze. In their world, restraint often means conflict or fear. So when we pull them in close, especially to their face, their neck, their eyes, we're treading on sacred space. Imagine if someone grabbed your face every time they wanted to say hello. Would you flinch? Would you smile through it? Just to please them? Some dogs tolerate it. A few may even enjoy it. But most freeze. Not out of love, but out of uncertainty. Their ears lower. Their breathing slows. Their tail stops wagging. That's not affection. That's surrender. Have you ever seen your dog stiffen when a child hugs them? Or turn their head when you lean in for a kiss? That's them whispering, "Please, not this way." And the older they get, the more sensitive they become to pressure, to proximity, to the sudden invasion of their safe bubble. Dogs show love through presence, not pressure. Sitting beside you, resting their head near yours, following you from room to room without a sound. That is their hug. So next time you reach out, pause. Let them come to you. Let the connection happen on their terms. Because true love, it doesn't force, it invites. And yet even when we speak their language, there's one last silent enemy we keep bringing into their world. It's not loud, it's not smelly, but it confuses them every single day. Thing number 7, mixed signals and broken rules. One day, you let them on the couch. The next, you scold them for it. One moment you laugh when they jump up. Later, you push them down with a sigh. It doesn't seem like much, just daily life. But to your dog, it's a maze with no map. Dogs don't do maybe. Their world runs on patterns, consistency, cause and effect. Every rule they break isn't rebellion, it's confusion. Every look of guilt isn't shame, it's your uncertainty reflecting in their eyes. Imagine being told yes with a smile, then no with a frown, for the same thing. How would you feel? Have you ever wondered why your dog hesitates before doing something they once did freely? Or why they suddenly act disobedient after being so well behaved? That's not regression. That's scrambled communication. A breakdown of trust in the invisible lines that once guided them. And the hardest part, We don't even know we're doing it. We change the rules depending on our mood, our guests, our stress. We forget that our dog doesn't speak human. They speak habits. They read tone. They memorize your always and fall apart when it becomes sometimes. But here's the hope. It's never too late to rewrite the language. One consistent action repeated with kindness can become the foundation of calm. A predictable world makes a peaceful dog. So ask yourself, what rules does your dog truly know? Which ones have changed? And how would you feel if the ground beneath your feet shifted every day? Because in the end, it's not about control. It's about clarity. And clarity for a dog feels like love. Now, let's take a deep breath together. Because what comes next is not another mistake, but a chance. A chance to change everything. So now you know your dog doesn't just need food walks or toys. They need space to breathe, a leash that listens, a home that doesn't sting their lungs. They need silence over noise, clarity over chaos, presence over pressure. And above all, they need you, not the perfect you, but the one who tries. If you're here watching till the end, you've already shown something most people never do, the willingness to understand. That alone makes you the kind of human every dog hopes to call family. Maybe you're thinking back to the times you sprayed the air freshener too close, or pulled the leash a little too tight, or hugged them when they stiffened not knowing it made them uncomfortable. That's okay. They forgave you before you even knew to ask. Because dogs don't keep score. They don't hold grudges. They just hold on to every moment, every touch, every return. So tonight, when you sit down, let them curl beside you. Let them sigh, stretch, and feel safe. Not because you've done everything right, but because you're learning, because you care, and they know it. If this video helped you see your dog with new eyes, I'd be honored if you stayed with us. There's so much more to uncover, so many silent stories your dog is waiting for you to hear. So subscribe if your heart feels called to. And share this with someone whose dog deserves the same. Because sometimes, a single insight can change an entire life, especially the one that waits by the door just for you.